Meghan unable to find a CEO for American Riviera Orchard. Harry's pathetic medal fiasco, and William doing what he does best. This and more on tonight's show. Hello, welcome back, my Royal Rogues. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue, and tonight we have Meghan's quest to find a CEO for her latest brainchild, American Riviera Orchard, that is going about as well as a vegan at a butcher's convention. The Duchess of Spicy Sausages has been scouring the land for the perfect executive head, but despite the weeks of interviews, she's come up emptier than Harry's noggin. And American Riviera Orchard, a name that screams pretentious and overpriced, aims to be the ultimate guide to home, food, and goods, because according to the Z-list actress, the world has been holding its breath for her groundbreaking insights on scented candles and artisanal jams. And rumors from the sun-drenched hills of California suggest that the initial CEO deserved the Benny Hill theme song. But life gives Meghan lemons. She puts them on people's baskets and makes a Netflix docuseries about not being able to find a CEO. And talks are underway with the streaming giant about a partnership that could involve installing their own hand-picked puppet to oversee all this lifestyle labyrinth. And Meghan graciously bestowed upon her adoring public a first glimpse of her empire in the making via a vintage-style Instagram clip. The grainy video showcased the Duchess in her natural habitat, which means in a completely out-of-place dress, arranging flowers and baking in a kitchen more polished than the crown jewels. And the promo set to jazzy tunes ooze all Hollywood glam because nothing screams relatable like a ball gown in a 12 million mansion. And the brand's Instagram page is as barren as Meghan's updated contact list, featuring only a logo that looks like a rejected wedding invitation. Visitors are urged to join a mailing list, presumably to receive updates on the ongoing CEO saga and Meghan's latest floral arrangements. And let's not forget the trademark application hinting at a possible cookbook and blog, because if there's one thing the world needs more than Meghan's interior design tips, is her homemade jam recipes, I guess. But to save the day, Prince Harry stood at his stuff on the stage of military recognition by sporting his UK participation medals while presenting a US Army award, because nothing says American hero like a British royal on their home terrace. It's like outsourcing patriotism. And with his "I was there" mantra, recalling his tours in Afghanistan, Harry's military saga could almost rival a Netflix docudrama where the big reveal is that he indeed was physically present. That would be shocking. And his military career, lauded about as much as a press school participation award, truly set the bar for royal military endeavors. Show up and look princely, but in an Oscar-worthy performance of unearned military prestige. He has managed to secure accolades for feats of heroism as notable as managing to string two sentences together. Admirable Lord Aaron West, former head of the Royal Navy, even tossed his 2 cents into the ring, essentially calling Harry's lauded heroics a bit of a nonsense, proving that British understatement is alive and well. Well, Harry decked himself out in medals on his palatial balcony. 3 of those shiny accolades were apparently for acing royal family one-on-one, being born, staying alive, and wearing a suit. The only thing missing was a medal for continuous waving. And as Harry nears his 40s, his escapades increasingly resemble a midlife crisis rather than royal duties. Between PR stunts and familial spats, one can't help but muse that perhaps Harry might focus on his own offspring rather than envying his nephew and niece, who look up to their father, William, a man who actually earns his keep and stands by his family without making headlines for all the wrong reasons. And William, not just the royal with a legit university degree, but also a former search and rescue pilot, makes Harry's narrative look like a royal mess. And maybe Harry's next medal should be for dramatic arts, given his knack for turning royal life into reality TV drama. As for who Harry's kids have to admire, well, let's hope that they are not holding their breath for heroic tales that go beyond, "I was there." And in a heartwarming display of love and support, Prince William embarked on a royal adventure to the northeast of England, spreading cheer and updates about his beloved wife, Catherine, Princess of Wales, as she bravely battles cancer. The dashing prince, donned in a white lab coat and safety goggles, showcased his scientific prowess at low-carbon materials, where he learned to make carbon-negative concrete. And with a twinkle in his eye, he joked about the potential for no more potholes, and playfully suggested that these innovative materials could pave the way for a world of net-zero homes and roads. But the real highlight of William's trip was his visit to James Place, a suicide prevention charity in Newcastle. And the prince's presence brought joy to the crowd, including a cheeky toddler named Kevin, who fibbed about his birthday just to chat with the royal. William, ever the charmer, bent down to shake Kevin's hand and inquire about cake, leaving the tot grinning from ear to ear. And when asked about Kate and the children, William reassured well-wishers that they were all doing well despite the challenges they faced. The couple's love story continues to inspire, as they recently celebrated their 13th wedding anniversary by sharing a stunning, never-before-seen photo from their special day. And I want to mention some of Cannell's words. Prince William was once asked what is his favorite wild animal. He replied, "I have to say I do love cheetahs. They are the most docile, awesome creatures. They can be lying perfectly quietly and then an absolute killing machine. It's the elegance of them, the way they look at you. They would come quite high on my list of favorite animals." That is exactly what this picture of him reminds me of. A confident man who looks deceptively calm and docile, but who, when provoked, strikes swiftly and never misses. His enemies want him to care so much about their PR attacks, and he simply doesn't. The only thing William cares about at the moment is making sure his wife and children are safe and sound, and they are loved. The future king of the UK, my dears, in all his understated and masculine elegance. And Charles' voicemail had to add this: both brothers are very alike. One is a cheetah, the other a cheetah. Oh my. And King Charles is back and better than ever, spreading smiles and cheer during his first big public appearance since his cancer diagnosis. The king, ever the trooper, visited a specialist cancer center in London alongside Queen Camilla, proving that something like cancer treatment can't keep a good monarch down. With a spring in his step, he even took the stairs, King Charles chatted with patients, sharing stories about the shock of a cancer diagnosis and sympathizing with their experiences. The patients were thrilled to have such a distinguished visitor, and one even told the king, "We've all got to stick together." Talk about a royal pep talk. And Queen Camilla got in on the action too, bonding with her patients' families and even gifting a lucky 11-year-old boy some books and a giant chocolate coin. Now, that's what we call a sweet gesture. And the visit was a smashing success, with the king showing plenty of energy and a positive attitude that left everyone feeling uplifted. While his future public appearances may be adjusted as he continues treatment, one thing is for sure: King Charles is determined to keep calm and carry on bringing joy and support to those who need it most. Long live the king and his indomitable spirit. And in a heartwarming gesture of solidarity, the Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, became the first member of the British royal family to visit Ukraine since the Russian invasion. Her one-day trip on behalf of the Foreign Office aimed to demonstrate unwavering support for the Ukrainian people affected by the war. The Duchess paid her respects to those who lost their lives in Bucha during the Russian occupation and met with President Volodymyr Zelensky and First Lady Olena Zelenska. She also had the opportunity to speak with survivors of sexual violence and torture, highlighting the disproportionate impact of war on women and girls. The royal family has been vocal in its support for Ukraine, with King Charles condemning Russia's indescribable aggression and unprovoked attack. The Duchess' visit serves as a powerful symbol of the royal family's commitment to standing with the Ukrainian people during this challenging time. Throughout her trip, the Duchess showcased her compassion and dedication to addressing the issue of sexual violence in conflict zones. Her visit to Ukraine adds to her impressive list of trips to places not typically frequented by royals, including Baghdad, Kosovo, Sierra Leone, and South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And in rogue news from the past, on this day, May the 1st, but in 1328, after years of bitter squabbling, countless battles, and a fair share of kilt-related incidents, England has finally thrown in the proverbial towel. In a momentous display of begrudging acceptance, the English Parliament has ratified the Treaty of Edinburgh, Northampton, officially acknowledging Scotland as a bona fide state and the illustrious Robert the Bruce as its king. It's easy to imagine disgruntled English nobles, their egos bruised and their teacups rattling with indignation, gathered to sign the treaty. With quill in hand and a heavy sigh, they scribbled their names, effectively saying, "Fine, Scotland, you can have your independence, but don't come crying to us when you run out of haggis." And meanwhile, north of the border, the Scots were celebrating in true Scottish fashion with copious amounts of whiskey, enthusiastic cabar tossing, and impromptu bagpipe solos that could be heard from Loch Ness to the Shetland Islands. And Robert the Bruce, resplendent in his tartan finest, couldn't help but crack a smile. After all, it's not every day that a king gets to stick it to the English and look fabulous doing it. As the news of Scotland's newfound status spread, the English couldn't help but wonder what they had gotten themselves into. Would they now have to endure endless references to a face-painted Mel Gibson? Would the Scots insist on putting Irn-Bru on everything, including their cereal? Only time would tell. But one thing was for sure. The Scots had earned their place on the world stage, and they were ready to make their mark one Cullen's king at a time. But rogues, I would love to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Royal Rogue. And remember, much love and bliss.